Oh, Ethan, I think it's working. Ethan, I think it's working. Yeah. Do you want to just check what we're on? Let's see. There might be a different for you. It says live. There's one that's live. Do you want to check it?
Okay, I'll check the other lives. I didn't see one. I only see the two. Oh, that's a weird looking.
I've just deleted that one.
This one I saw.
Yeah, I just deleted that one because that's clearly not working. View on YouTube. Yep, it's working. I said we're working. Okay. All right, finally. Gee whiz, guys. Sorry. Let me just get this going a bit better. So we are working, right? Yes, fantastic. You can speak, Ethan. It's fine.
Okay.
People know that you exist. Best Buy. Hi, guys. Sorry, I don't know if it's OBS just doesn't seem to be working well on these Macs. So just give us a second. We're just getting set up. So apologies about the late start. Yeah, OBS was just not working our streaming software tonight very well. So welcome. Thanks everyone for joining. Just give me a second to get us all set up. All right, I'm going to close this one. And I've just got to get the chat up so I can see what people are asking about. So just 2 seconds. Just getting our chat up, guys, so I can answer your questions. So give me a second. Okay. Okay, streaming software. All right, I can't even see the questions because the streaming software's not working. Oh. It doesn't work properly, so I'm going to have to open it here. If you're on YouTube. Yep. I am muted. All right. So can people actually hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me. I just want to make sure we're good because we had a little bit of a disaster not a disaster, that's a big term, but we had a little bit of an issue getting us all working tonight. So just let me know that you can hear me. Hopefully I've got the latency on low enough that we don't have to wait that long. And thank you everyone for joining, and it's good to see some of these questions coming through. Hey Kenneth, I'm doing good. We're a little bit stressed because OBS was not working well, our streaming software tonight, so it took us a bit of time to get going. So just give me a second. Are people saying that they can hear me? Loud and clear, yes. Yes, fantastic news. All right, guys. So here today to answer any of your questions about deals, laptops in general. Just something I wanted to say as I start the stream, and maybe Ethan, you could post a comment and pin it in, about the business channel. So you guys may or may not know this, but I actually quit my job about 6 months ago to do YouTube full time. A good chunk of it is to build this wonderful tech channel, but another chunk of it is to help people succeed in business, because I was quite successful in business. I worked my way right up the corporate ladder to the very top, or the highest titled level on Wall Street. And I really want to help people be more successful in their endeavors. And so I've started a business channel, very small right now. Originally, we were going to put scripted content on it like we have on this tech channel, which is, very in-depth content. So we were doing stuff like resume reviews, how to do cover letters, things like that. But we're going to actually switch, and instead it'll be live presentations every Thursday, replacing these live presentations probably start after Black Friday and Christmas, and it will be how to be successful in business. So the tech channel will continue with the kind of scripted, high intensity, very highly produced content that you guys see on this channel. But the business channel will be a time every Thursday we'll pick, particular topics like, how to get your first job, or if you've recently been made redundant, what should you do next, or how to ask your boss for more money. It'll be all those kind of topics, and every week will be one topic, and you guys will be able to ask questions. So Ethan's going to put the link to the business channel in the chat, so definitely go get subscribed, and we'll be, as I said, every Thursday we'll be moving to a weekly live session on the business channel, which should be really cool.
I can't finish, but it's there.
All right, Ethan's put it there. He might put it a couple more times in there. So let's get started. I'm going to ask Raphael's question first because he was the first up there. Hello. Do you think a 14-inch, and apologies I'm looking down here because that's where the comment is, a Zenbook 14 with an OLED screen and a Ryzen 5 7530U, 16 gig of RAM for €850 is worth it? Need a laptop for university ASAP and don't want to spend more than that. We love that laptop. That is a fantastic laptop. I don't know what else you can get for the money for 850 euros. And I'm going to bring that laptop up on screen so you guys can see it. Just give me 2 seconds. I think in the US, there's a similar version available at Walmart of that laptop. And this is a great one for most people who are watching the channel. Anyone who's like a casual user, a student who wants a good laptop. So just give me a second. I'm bringing it up now. We know this laptop really well. In fact, can we get one of them?
Which one?
The Zenbook 14.
I have, looks like the 14 right here.
Yeah, the 14 right there. Is that the 14 Pro or the 14?
Nope, it's the 14. Looks a little dirty, but...
Looks a little dirty. Thank you. Okay, so this is the one we're talking about. It's right here. This one actually is it's the same one, Ryzen 5. So this is a great laptop for anyone who's looking for a good laptop for a casual user, just student as Rafael is, just studying. The things that really make this laptop pretty spectacular, and for the price range, by the way, you'll be comparing it against something like an Inspiron from Dell, HP Pavilion, an Apple, maybe a MacBook Air M1, something like that, the older MacBook Air, or a Lenovo IdeaPad. What separates this apart from all those competitors is it's got a very premium kind of feel to it. It's actually got an excellent keyboard, and I'm going to bring myself up in full screen now because I think people have kind of seen the warm-up page.
You want to lower this? Just a little bit once you're...
Yep.
Yeah, just so you can see it.
It's got a great keyboard, and even though it is a Ryzen Zen 3 processor, which is actually their architecture that came out a year or two ago rather than the current Zen 4 one, it actually works really, really well. And there's a couple of, it's funny enough, we've been testing these Zen 4, Zen 3 processors all day today like crazy. Ethan's smiling at me here for the last 2 days. The Zen 3 processors they're about 20% worse in performance to a Zen 4, which is probably about 25% behind Intel. And what happens though is the Zen 3s though don't draw nearly as much power as the Zen 4s. So they don't feel as hot to the touch. That means they're very, very comfortable to use. They have pretty much, at least this one in particular, this is a U series, so it's a low powered one, has no fan noise, and it has long battery life, very long battery life. So, sorry Rafael, long-winded approach. For a student, yes, this is an absolutely excellent laptop. This is the Zenbook 14. Maybe you could put a link, well, he's in Europe, but maybe you could put one of our links in the chat. Just so you guys understand, the channel mostly makes money off affiliate when people buy the products we talk about, which is weird because we actually give bad reviews of laptops a lot of times, so people don't buy them, but that's how we make money. So Ethan's going to put a link to the Zenbook 14, which we do like, in the chat. And by the way, guys, we're doing a best laptops of 2023, an updated one, which will be the top 10 coming out next week. The Zenbook 14 is one of our top 10. Great laptop. All right. Next one. Abe, thank you. Good evening. Hello. Next one, trying to decide between a Lenovo X13 Yoga Gen 4 and Yoga 9i with 1360p. God, what was the X13 Yoga Gen 4? I can't remember that laptop. Apologies. So I'm going to skip over that one because unfortunately I just can't remember that off the top of my head. The X13, is that the ThinkPad, the really good one? I'll skip over that one just because I can't remember that. I might come back to it. I was wondering if the Lenovo Slim 5 is worth the CPU upgrade from Ryzen 7 7840HS to Ryzen 9 7940HS. I'll use the laptop for gaming and programming. Thanks in advance. Absolutely not. It just isn't. I mean, it's probably going to bring you more, and this is more negatives than it is positive. So Ryzen 7 7840HS, this is their standard high-powered Zen 4 gaming laptop CPU. It's a good CPU, not quite as fast as Intel 13th gen, but doesn't get quite as hot. I mean, it doesn't need as much power, so therefore there's not as much heat to dissipate, fan noise, that kind of stuff. He's comparing it to the Ryzen 9 7940HS, which is a teensy bit more powerful. It honestly, for the use cases you said, gaming, programming, it's really not going to make much difference. And honestly, it's probably going to do more harm because it'll run a little bit hotter. And that means the way these chips work, they'll go as hot as they're allowed to go, and then they'll throttle back down. So if the CPU perhaps is running a little bit hotter when you're gaming, like what you're saying, the GPU can't get quite as hot. So it might make the GPU worse. So I would ignore that. And same for folks who are thinking between like an Intel, say an i7 or an i9. Stick with the i7. The i9's honestly, it's just not going to make that much difference. All right.
Are you okay if I post the actual link to it? Because I can't find one of our affiliate links for it.
It'll be on the student one. Oh, it's Walmart. You're right. You're right. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Just don't. People can look it up at Walmart then if it's not an affiliate link. That's fine. All right. Next question. Tanish, Hello, Josh. I wanted to choose between the Asus ROG Zephyrus M16. We know this laptop super well. 4060 variant for $1,500 and the Yoga Slim Pro 9, which I love, 9i for $1,850. I want a good laptop with a good battery, a good display, and can game. I am a student, by the way. Please help. Mate, this is a really interesting one, I must say. Could we grab the M16 and the Yoga? Where is the Slim Pro 9i?
I think it's in your office.
Yeah, we'll grab those two. We have a ridiculous amount of laptops here, guys. It's crazy. So, I don't know if you guys watch Jared's Tech. He's a gaming laptop specialist, and he does a fantastic job. Him and I are actually quite good friends, both from Australia. And him and I were talking about the M16 a lot today. Funnily enough, he actually really likes that laptop. And thinks it's one of the best gaming laptops out there. But I and my team gave it a really bad review. And what we worked out was I actually have the higher end, the 4090 version, and that version, it doesn't perform well with the 4090. And today I actually ran it on turbo mode, which is the highest possible mode. With the 4090, it did perform okay, but the fan noise, 65 decibels. It's like a vacuum cleaner. It's crazy. And so this is the M16 that he's talking about, that Tanish is talking about. It's a big gaming laptop, 16-inch one, but it's actually not as big as some of the other gaming ones. So it's kind of, I'd say it's as portable as a 16-inch gaming laptop gets. And here is the Slim Pro 9i, 16-inch. And this one is more of a premium all-round laptop. So what you'll notice with this one versus the M16, it's just got like a high-quality build to it. It's less gamer-focused. So let's talk about the difference for a second. He's asking about the 4060 version of the M16. Unfortunately, we have the 4090, which is the much more powerful version of it. So what you're going to notice is this straight away. This one is going to get a lot warmer. First of all, you're not getting the 4090, which no one should be getting. When I mentioned how Jared feels about this M16, he likes it a lot, but he's talking more the 4070 and below, which the gentleman here is talking about the 4060. So it makes this laptop, it does make this laptop better. But here's the skinny to the Legion, this one here, not the Legion, the Yoga Slim Pro 9i internationally, or the Slim Pro 9i in the US. The main things you're going to notice here is this one gets quite warm to the touch, okay? So even with a lower tier graphics, this particular chassis that Asus has here, you actually quite feel the warmth around the keyboard and the palm rest, even for a lower tier graphics. So this one, when you compare it to the Slim Pro 9i, or the Yoga Pro 9i as it's called, this one you don't feel warmth at all, which is fantastic. But of course it maxes out as a 4060. So my vote, and there's a couple of other differences with this one. This one here, you also have the keyboard on this one is insanely good. This one is good. It is good. That's probably like a 4 out of 5 keyboard, the M16, so I'm pointing it to it over here. The Yoga Pro 9i is more like honestly a 6 out of 5 keyboard. It is fantastic. So I think this is going to be a bit more comfortable to use. So my vote is probably to get this one. That being said, you might find if you get the 4060 version of this one versus the 4060 version of the M16, I would presume will probably perform a little bit better. We don't have that configuration here, but I personally, if it was me, I would take a better all-round laptop experience because a lot of time you're not playing games, right? Maybe you're studying, maybe you're doing Word docs. I would take a better all-round laptop experience versus, it just started up here, versus the M16. Ethan wants to show us we've got this cool little logo of the Just Josh Tech here, but you guys, hard to see. But anyway, so my 2 cents is, I personally, if it was me, buying the difference between the two, so you can see it kind of scrolling along here. I don't know if it's showing up now. Yeah, it isn't, but
it doesn't.
I personally would choose a better all-round laptop versus one that may be slightly better for a specific purpose like gaming. All right, next one. I don't want to miss, there's a lot of comments here. Okay, can you please review the Acer Predator Triton 14-inch? This is, someone's asking, can we review the Acer Predator Triton 14-inch, 250 hertz mini LED, okay, RTX 4070. Okay, I've heard a lot about this one actually. So this is Acer's 14-inch gaming laptop, and this is one unfortunately we missed, and it seems a lot of laptop reviewers seem to have missed this one. So when we reviewed 14-inch gaming laptops, it was like the Asus G14, Razer Blade 14, there was the Legion 5 14 as well, and MSI Stealth 14. Unfortunately, we kind of weren't aware of this Acer one. Maybe it just wasn't as widely available in the US, and that's why. We do know about it now. What I will say about reviewing any more new laptops till the end of the year, the answer is not really, because this will be mostly about us doing either roundups or talking about existing laptops. So we've reviewed 70 laptops this year, right? So it'll be helping people with like, what is the best laptops for programmers? What are the best laptops for creators? What are the top 10 laptops overall? Because when we think about making a video and a review, by the time we get this laptop in, we test it, we review it, it's really a 2-3 week time frame. It's already going to be mid-December. We all expect that early next year there's going to be new laptop processors out. So it kind of doesn't make sense for us to review a laptop at this late stage, a completely new one that we haven't reviewed already. All right. Rafael came back and said, so you would definitely say that the Asus Zenbook I talked about is much better than the Asus VivoBook 15 M1502 with Ryzen 7. Yeah, I would. I think compared to the Asus VivoBook 15, I personally find the Zenbook 14 is a little bit of, a Zenbook is like a higher, it's just like 1 tier above, so it's a better build quality, and I think I would take that. A 14-inch, 15-inch, honestly, 14-inch is going to be fine, and the Zenbook 14 is such a great laptop. I'll bring it back on screen so people can see it, see what we're talking about here. We've lost OBS for some reason. Here we go. This is the one we're talking about, the Zenbook 14. I might even scroll this a bit so you can see it a bit better. This one is just such a fantastic laptop for students and casual users. I'd get that one instead. All right, let's keep going. This is why I script videos, guys, because I talk too much about stuff. The X13 is the ThinkPad. Yes, I understand that. Okay. Okay. The Asus ROG Flow X13. Ah, yes. Okay, someone's asking about the Asus ROG, the Flow X13. This is the one you can have the external graphics plugged in. I just need to be honest that we kind of ran out. I went full-time doing YouTube around July, and I was part-time before. There was 2 of us part-time, me and a video editor. We now have a team where we have 4 full-timers, including myself, and we have a couple of part-timers, so we can do a lot more laptop reviews than what we have before, and that's why second half of the year we've done a lot more. So when it comes to the Asus ROG Flow X13, I know I haven't looked at that at all since it was invented a couple of years ago. That is one that I'm very interested in doing next year, but we haven't had it in, so I don't want to talk about it, unfortunately. What do you think about a computer info systems degree and concentration in cybersecurity? How is that field right now? It's a fantastic field. So Hamid is asking more of a career question, which is great because as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I also am going to do I have a business channel. If you guys haven't subscribed to it, Ethan's going to share it. It's on a little bit of hold right now. We're going to do live streams for the tech channel, this channel, up until around Christmas to try and help people with their major purchases. And then after that, we're going to switch over to business. So he's asking, what do you think of a computer info systems degree and a concentration in cybersecurity? How is the field right now? So I was a managing director in the product management area of a bank looking after tech products. So I had a lot of exposure to this particular field. I think it is great right now. There's just, a massive increase in focus on cybersecurity. And also one of, I think, the cool things about cybersecurity right now is there's a big focus on AI and using AI algorithms to really detect, fraud and various scams that are going on. So I do think it's a growing career. I do think it's a good one to do. Next, Keshav. So give me 2 seconds to have a glass of water. I want a 14-inch, so should I just get the Slim Pro 7 with the 7840HS and the 3050? So this is an older Slim. Oh, I didn't know there was a Slim Pro 7 like this. Fantastic. 6 gig for 863. That's fantastic. This is the Slim Pro 7. Oh, good Lord. Okay, we know this one really well. I've spent most of the day on this laptop. We have so many of these. So we have both the Slim. Maybe can we grab one?
Yeah.
Just to show some. Thank you.
Right.
So let me bring it up. This is the Slim Pro 7. I think this is the Best Buy config he's asking about. Okay. All right. So this is a really common laptop. A lot of people are asking questions about this one. We are desperately trying to get you a video out about it. In fact, I can probably do it really quickly. So he's asking about the Slim Pro 7, this one, which you see on screen. Let me bring it up because you don't see it on screen.
Gen 4.
Thank you. Okay, so this is the Slim Pro 7 here. It's also on screen. Also being asked about the Asus G14, which I'm going to bring up as well on screen. And I'm going to talk about the difference between all of these just very quickly. Okay. Oops. Okay, we're going to bring up, sorry, the screen's up over here, so that's why you see me looking this way. I'll just grab this one for the time being as just a placeholder. And the other one was the G14 and the Slim 514. Okay, we know all of these. In fact, we have all of them right here in the studio. Best Buy, and this is the Slim 514. Yes, that is the Legion Slim 514. There it is, Legion Slim 514. Alrighty. And what use case? For about $860 or wait and get these ones. Okay, and he's talking about the 4060 version of this one here. So let me just bring up the G14 4060. 4060. Alright, so firstly with these laptops that you're suggesting here, none of these are perfect and none of these are in our top 10. Just because the G14 is actually really good. And I'll just go through some of the pros and cons of each because I think that a lot of people are deciding between these laptops at this price point. Okay, so I'm just bringing them up on screen now so you can see them. All right, so Slim Pro 7, this one here, the 14-inch. So here's the skinny with this one. There is something called the Slim Pro 9i, which is a fantastic laptop. I talked about it earlier. Normally in Lenovo's range, when you jump down from like a 9 series to a 7 to a 5, there is a, it's a jump, but it's a small jump, right? This, when we think about the Slim Pro 7, it's kind of unusual. I personally think it should probably not be known as a Pro at all. It should just be called Slim 5, so not Pro, not 5. For this price, it is actually pretty good. What it brings to the table is the 3050, which is a okay dedicated, let me call a space spade. It's fairly low-end dedicated graphics. You're not really going to get much of a boost doing any video editing off this. Gaming is going to be pretty minimal. You're going to be playing on some pretty low settings on this as well, unless you're playing something like League of Legends. But what this laptop does, it's kind of like it's okay at everything if you want a little bit of a taste of everything, but it's really not good at anything. And what it also you need to be aware of is the keyboard on it it's just not the most comfortable. It's a little spongy. It's not one of, Lenovo makes great keyboards. This isn't one. And also the screen's display, it's 350 nits, so it isn't that bright. In this price range, there are 2 other laptops that we like, or even 3 that we do like better. So I would assume you're not doing a lot of AAA gaming if you're getting this laptop. Well, you shouldn't be with the 3050. You're just not going to get a lot done. So this is predominantly a laptop I would see maybe a student buying, someone who just wants a decent all-round laptop for around the $1,000 price point. In that price range, for a laptop like this, unless you truly need that taste of dedicated graphics, the Asus Zenbook 14 that I talked about earlier is going to be cheaper. It's going to have better battery life. I'm pretty sure it has. Yes, it does. It has much better battery life. It has a better keyboard and it has a brighter display. Those things from the Zenbook 14, the one I had up from Walmart that I showed you earlier, that's going to be a better all-round laptop for a casual user than this one, for sure. Okay, this is only if you need the taste of dedicated graphics. Then the other ones we like better than this, Pavilion Plus, it's a lower quality, it's even a slightly lower quality laptop than this one, but you do get a better OLED display, and you also get the Ryzen Zen 4 U series processor, which is going to be a better processor than this one. So that's another one, but I would say get the Zenbook 14 instead of this one. If you are a software developer, maybe even the Zenbook 14X. It's got a 14.5-inch display, not a 14. It also has the same great keyboard of the Zenbook 14. So guys, I had this up before. This is the one I'm suggesting instead, Walmart Zenbook 14. Honestly, I know it seems like this Slim Pro 7 is on a heavy discount. It's still, for a casual user, this one, the $699 Zenbook 14, is going to be better for most people who don't need that dedicated graphics than this Slim Pro 7, even though you see it on a big sale. That's one. I wouldn't compare it to the G14 and the Slim 514 because both of these are much more powerful graphics. You're talking a completely different ballpark. You're talking very low-end dedicated graphics to something that's now more mid-tier dedicated graphics. If you do need gaming and you do want some gaming, obviously you should be getting the G14 or the Slim 514. We have thoroughly tested both. We cover them a bit in our gaming laptop video. The G14 is just, it's a better all-round laptop, but neither of them is perfect. The G14 is just better in most things. I can't remember what is the difference. Was it the Legion 514? Was it the display? Was it? It's an OLED display. Maybe it wasn't that bright.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Maybe you can check some notes.
I'll
But
check it.
but the G14 overall, we found it significantly better. We did actually score them. If you go to our best gaming laptop video, you'll see how we scored the two together and which one will be better. The main thing about the G14 that you guys need to know compared to this Slim 514, so we're talking about the G14, is it does feel a lot warmer to the touch, okay? When you're using it, it's really gonna feel quite warm. And I personally find that a bit annoying. The other thing about the G14 is the ports are quite far down the laptop, so you kind of got cables hanging out the laptop. But as I remember, overall, we still liked it a bit better than the Legion 514. Nonetheless, if you are talking portable gaming laptops, other than the Acer that someone asked earlier that we didn't get to test, these two are top tier, so they're both good buys.
Has a slightly dimmer screen, but the color accuracy is a little bit better on the Legion Slim 7 or Legion Slim 5.
Okay, so Ethan's saying slightly dimmer screen on this one, the Legion Slim 5, versus the Asus G14, but slightly better color accuracy on the Legion 5. But I think there were some other differences we had. I can't remember what they are now, but
yeah, I know the Asus was pretty hot. I do remember that.
not the Asus. The Asus was pretty hot. The G14, yeah.
G14 was pretty
Okay, let's move on to another question because I think that we've really had that. Hi Josh, is there an AMD U series and NVIDIA graphics for this year? I really found the value combination of, yeah, okay, what a great question. So someone's asking, AMD Zen 4 U series, you'll find this in the Pavilion Plus, you find this in the Framework AMD laptop. So this is not the processor that you have here, which is the HS. This is the high wattage one you see on screen from the Zen 4 range. So he's asking about the one ends in a U. So it's what we found, and quite a few of us found this. Myself found this, Jared from Jared's Tech found this as well. A lot of these processors, once you feed them less wattage, the performance per watt actually massively increases, particularly on some of these AMD ones here, or Intel as well actually. So the U series feeds it less power, but it gets almost as good performance, but you get a lot less heat fan noise. So basically the gentleman is asking about, hey, have we seen these combined with NVIDIA graphics? So like a gaming laptop where the processor isn't quite as powerful, but is a lot more frugal in terms of power efficiency, so less heat, less fan noise, more battery life. I haven't seen that at all, those two together. That would be a great combination, and we would love to see that because I personally don't think a lot of people need this level of performance. And when I think, looking at the 70 laptops we've tested, the number one issue with laptops right now is heat, fan noise, poor battery life, for sure. And that, what this gentleman asked for, would solve that. All right. Are there any decent 16-inch laptops, Windows laptops, that have good battery to performance ratio? It seems like only 14-inch have good battery life. I saw Lenovo's P16 has a 7840U. Oh, that's interesting. Good Lord, what 16-inch laptop has good battery life? I know there's obviously the Zenbook 14 has good battery life, but that's a 14-inch. What 16-inch? Do you want to? Would you mind, Ethan? We've got all our scores here saved. Ethan is just going to help by doing a quick look for 16-inch laptops of ones that have great battery life for Windows to see what we can find. There's got to be one for the... And we have, by the way, we test two different types of tests for battery life. We test a CPU stress test on battery, and we measure how much battery is remaining. And we also test like just a standard Netflix video playback over Wi-Fi, which is more. And I'll say hello to Sherry because she's posted a nice comment earlier. So hi. And then next question. What's your opinion of the Zenbook 14 Intel 5 i3 at 1340p? Will the battery be on par with the Ryzen version? I would presume the battery will be a little bit worse on the Intel one, actually probably quite a bit worse. So this is the Zenbook 14, which funnily enough we have here. There is an Intel version of this with a 1340p processor. And is that going to be better or similar battery life to the Ryzen one? I would say highly unlikely. To be quite frank, I found most of these Intel 13th Gen P series to be a completely failed product line. They're in Ultrabooks, they get so hot, they get loud fan noise, pitiful battery life. The XPS, Dell's XPS 13, which honestly is a beautiful laptop, it's just ground to a halt by that processor. I mean, the processor's fast, but it just gets so hot to the touch, has terrible battery life. All right.
Was there other prerequisites you wanted for that good battery life?
Just good battery life on a Windows laptop for a 16-inch.
Looking at the ones that we have...
Good battery life, 16-inch laptop. Ethan has
The
been...
Mac.
The MacBook Pro 16 is it, guys.
The tough A16 didn't do terrible. It got 66 after 4 hours.
Is that in Netflix video playback?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the best I can see.
Yeah, unfortunately, guys, honestly, and I said this at the beginning, the number one issue, there's 3 issues that we see with Windows laptops right now is poor battery life, loud fans, and feeling warm. And unfortunately, we can't find a 16-inch laptop that we've tested, and we've tested a lot, that has good battery life. We haven't tested any of the Ryzen Zen 4U ones that the gentleman asked about, unfortunately, but yeah, sorry, nothing good to say there. Someone asked about a MacBook, and I want to do a MacBook question. Okay. Should I get a M2 MacBook Air 15, love that laptop, with 16 gig and 512 gig SSD, or an M3 MacBook Pro, the base model, with 16 gig and 512? I'm going to take programming as a student. Okay, I'm extremely familiar with both this discipline and these laptops. We have a big Mac video that's killing us coming out on the M3s. We have... How many do we have? We have 3 of them. We have 3 of them. Yes, we have quite a few MacBook M3s. Let's get a MacBook M3 so we can have one. This is, what are we on? We're on, no, this is an M2. Okay, here's a MacBook M3 right now, so you can see we actually do know what we're talking about. Okay, I just want to check the pricing. I know the MacBook Air. The main thing I'm concerned about here is, and I talk about this in the video, when we talk about MacBook Airs, particularly the base models. So this gentleman is asking, this is a really common question. MacBook Air upgraded with 16 gig of memory. How does that compare to a base model MacBook Pro instead? And one thing I do want to say is you'll often find discounts on the MacBooks, any of the MacBooks that are base models. That's because the retailers sell these and they put them on heavy discounts up to $200 off. I've even seen at times even $400 off, which is crazy. Whereas these custom configurations, few resellers put them on big discounts, and if they are discounted, maybe it's $100. So that can often, you know, squeeze in, hey, should I buy a custom configuration of a MacBook? And I'm going to bring up my screen right now to show you guys, versus just go to the next model up. Okay, so here, let's bring up a custom MacBook Air 15. And it's a custom configuration, so I'm going to assume very little discounts on it. Okay, so Air 15, I think it was a 512 gig, and it's the person is a student studying programming. So if we come here, the Air 15, now, trick, you might want to, this one has the same processor. Sometimes you might want to just upgrade the one on the left, but this in case, I think they're the same here. Yeah, they are. Okay. So that wasn't such a trick. So here with 16 gig of memory for the MacBook Air 15, you're looking at $1,700. If we go to the MacBook Pro, okay, and with the base model M3, here's the problem with the base model M3, and there are quite a few things that kind of worry me. All right, so you could upgrade this one to 16 gig. Is he going to upgrade this one? Let me see what the gentleman said. He said MacBook Pro also upgraded with 16 gig. Okay. So he's comparing 2 custom configurations. So that means he's probably not going to get such a big discount on them, because you generally get discounts on base models. And when I say base models, I'm referring to these things here. The ones unupgraded, these are the ones that Apple sells in the stores, Best Buy sells in the stores, etc., or other retailers. These are the ones you'll often see with, say, $200 off, okay? But once you start going in here and customizing it, like this person is doing, to say 16 gig of memory, it's very unlikely you'll get discounts. Maybe student discount, sure, but not much more than that. So you're talking about $1,800 for a MacBook Pro, the M3. This is the base M3 chip, not the M3 Pro, with 16 gig of memory. And this is 512 gig of storage, good. Versus the MacBook Air 15. So you're talking $100 difference here. So let's talk about what you're getting, especially as a coder. So with the MacBook Air 15, you're getting no fan. That being said, especially base coding, it's quite a bursty task. So you compile code, it hits the CPU, it spikes up, but then it goes down pretty quickly. It's not like a sustained task. Like rendering a video or video editing, it's very sustained performance over time. And so with that, what the MacBook Pro brings to the table is it has one fan. So it will keep the processor running cooler for sustained tasks, but that's not as important for a software developer. So I'm going to throw that benefit out. Then what you have is the MacBook Pro has the M3 chip versus obviously the M2 chip. It's not going to make a huge difference for a coder at school, to be quite frank with you, it's not. And when we compared, by the way, we've compared a lot of tests. You'll see this in our video of will we see it? I hope we're going to put it in our video. The MacBook Pro with the M2 versus MacBook Pro with the M3. It's not a huge, each core is a bit faster, it's a little bit more efficient, but it's not a massive difference. So that's also quite a small difference. You do lose the largest 15-inch screen on the MacBook Air, right? So the MacBook Air 15 Advantage is larger screen. But one thing I will mention for coders, which is quite important, the MacBook Pros, all of them do have a nicer keyboard. It's slightly better than the Airs. It just has a little bit more travel than the Airs. The Airs feel quite low travel, and as a coder, you'll certainly notice that. Now, so I think really what it comes down to, and also, by the way, the MacBook Pro, the M3 base model, which again I'll bring up now, you really only have 2 USB-C ports, so you're not really getting any extra USB-C port. You do get the SD card reader, but this is what I think. To go from this model to the next model up, which is a base model MacBook Pro, I would recommend, if you've got this kind of money to spend, which congratulations as a student to buy this much money on a MacBook, that's pretty amazing. I would prefer you look for the M3 Pro model, this one on sale. This one comes out of the gate with 18 gig of memory. You get 1 extra performance core versus the M3 model. You get the third USB-C port on the other side of the laptop. Actually, this is one of them right here. So you get this port, which doesn't exist on the other one, and you get 2 fans. So the fan doesn't, even if you do long performance tasks, it doesn't have to work as hard. Plus, the M3 base model can only support, I think, 1 external monitor, where this can support 2, the M3 Pro. And what you may find, and let me bring it up, right? Let's go to Amazon, and we'll search for this particular one. You guys might find that the M3 Pro 14-inch with the M3 Pro here, the MacBook Pro 14-inch with the... What you might find is this one may be on sale. Here you go. Let's find the base model of it. So this is the base model of the M3 Pro one. So let's see. So this isn't, I don't see a big sale here, but on Best Buy maybe it's on sale. Let's have a look. MacBook Pro 14 with the M3 Pro. I'm certain it'll go on sale over Black Friday. I'm not certain, but I would imagine it will go on sale. So it's not on sale right now. I did see it for $100 off last week. I would keep an eye on the M3 Pro model. So rather than get the custom configuration of the Air or the base M3, I think you're better off just waiting for a sale on the base model of the base model, meaning one of the stock models of the M3 Pro chip. I just think it brings a lot more to the table than the base M3. And as I said, what it brings, extra USB-C port on the other side, which is nice. You've got an extra performance core. You get 2 gigs of extra memory. And if this one goes on sale, now I've already seen it on sale for $100 off, the price gap to upgrading the M3 with 16 gig, it's not that much. So that's what I would do. Apologies about the long-winded answer. Okay. So you could probably get away with the 780M for the new Pavilion Plus 14. Thanks, Josh. Okay. I'm trying to read some more questions. What time is it? Just to make sure. So we got 15 more minutes, I think. Okay. Did he go over the 2023 Acer Zephyrus G14 yet? I did go over it. I probably still have it on screen, or I just removed it. It's a good laptop. I really do like it. I used it a lot this year. I used it for a couple of months as my primary laptop, but plugged into an external keyboard or mouse, and that's because it is a great laptop, but it still gets very warm to the touch. So I'll bring up the 4060 version, which is here. So it's a great laptop, great keyboard. I really do like the screen. Let's get rid of this MacBook. We don't need it anymore. Thanks.
Gotcha.
It's a great keyboard. It's very portable for what it is. It's actually really compact. Someone asked about the Legion Slim 514, which I have open over here. Someone asked about that laptop earlier. This one is, its footprint is really big. It almost feels like really like a 15-inch, if not even a 16-inch laptop. This one is still very compact. It has a pretty good port selection. Oh, we have one right here. There we go. There we go.
I was already ready on that one.
All right. Well, there's the Asus G14. Pretty good port selection. And this year's model, actually, I found, because I actually bought last year's model myself, it's quite a lot quieter when it comes to fan noise, which is great, specifically for casual use, I would say. So if you're just a student studying or you're doing office work or, you know, anything you're doing on this laptop that isn't overly intensive, it's actually really quiet this year, which is great. So that's a positive. And I had the 4060 with the Zen, I think it's the Ryzen 9 Zen 4 model. I think it's this one right here that's on screen. Yeah, this is the one I had. The big issue with this laptop, and I just want to be super clear about it, it gets so warm to the touch. So you've got to be okay. You've got to be someone who's just not fussy, because it does get warm to the touch, or where your primary use case is going to be how you use it out and about for a little bit, but then when you really use it, you're using it plugged into an external keyboard, monitor, and mouse like I was, then it's a great laptop because it doesn't get that loud. See, a lot of these laptops, these smaller laptops, there's this balance of like, how much fan noise do you want to run to keep the laptop cool, or how much heat do you let the laptop get? For example, some of the Apple laptops, they get quite warm, but Apple has chosen to keep their fans running low, so they don't have a lot of fan noise. Same with, say, the Alienware that we recently tested, the X16. That one has very low fan noise, but gets quite warm to the touch. And this one is kind of similar to that. Now, that being said, as people would know, you can control the fans, particularly on these gaming laptops like this one, from the Armoury Crate Asus software. But one thing of note on this laptop is even if you pump up the fans, it doesn't actually make the palm rest that cool, or the keyboard deck. It just doesn't. Like when I use, say, max fan control on a Mac, like this, and I turn the fans up just a little bit, you hit a teensy bit of fan noise, but it actually cools down the chassis really well, not on the G14. So overall, G14, still my favorite 14-inch gaming laptop, and if I was buying one, I would buy this one. That being said, if you want a cooler feeling gaming laptop, Legion Slim 514 is a cooler feeling gaming laptop. All right, so next one. Okay, we're getting quite a few people who are on this channel. There's 140 people on this channel.
Yeah.
Thank you, folks, for joining. And by the way, we hit 200,000 subscribers today, which is kind of cool. Okay. I see MacBooks everywhere at my public university. Highest median family income of US public schools. Look, guys, I hate to say it. If you got the money to spend, still to this day, no one does it quite like Apple. I personally, you're going to hear me get absolutely riled up about the M3 launch in my M3 video. Unlike other laptop reviewers, I was honestly really disappointed about the M3 launch. Particularly, you guys may or may not know, this wasn't widely covered. They nuked memory bandwidth, so memory bandwidth is less. People often mistake the need for memory with the need to fast access to memory. And when you're talking particularly hardware accelerated tasks like those using Apple's Media Engine, I'm showing the wrong laptop on screen. Let me get rid of that one. When you're talking about hardware accelerated tasks like those using Media Engine, which we use a lot here for, say, video editing or content creation, yes, they are bound by memory, but they're both bound by having enough memory so you don't have to swap, but they're also bound by fast access to memory. And they actually nuke that for pretty much all new MacBook Pros M3s, other than the highest end Max chip, which costs $4,000 when you get it. It's crazy. So I kind of they really gut punched a lot of their creators in the stomach, which really hurt. They're really forcing creators to either deal with less, because they kind of like what they did. It's very naughty. They increased the performance of M3, but in ways that a lot of people won't really use it. So they increase single core performance. Sure, everyone's going to get a benefit there, but they also increase multi-core performance and GPU cores, which funnily enough, a lot of people, they just don't use. But what they do use is fast access to memory, the memory bandwidth, and they actually made that smaller. So I was a bit upset about what Apple's done, but I've got off track here. But what I do mean to say is, even with that, Apple, if you got the money to spend, they still make, honestly, really the best laptops, unless you're a gamer. I think the closest to an Apple laptop, by the way, guys, is the Slim Pro 9i 14 or 16. They are very high quality laptops. Again, if you have the money to spend and you want a PC, those are probably my two favorites. And the good news about them compared to the Mac is they cost about, honestly, for a similar specs, about half as much money, which is really, really nice. But for half as much money, you do get some fan noise, particularly on the 14-inch, the Slim Pro 9i. Let me make sure everyone knows what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this laptop here, Pro 9i, and I'll bring it up right now. if you're looking for a MacBook Pro 14 alternative, this laptop here is the one to get. The main thing is you will hear a little bit of fan noise. It's not obnoxious fan noise, but no, not a little bit. You will hear some fan noise. It's not obnoxious, it's not high-pitched, but you will hear some fan noise. It will get warmer to the touch than a MacBook Pro 14. It doesn't edit videos as well, but it gets, I mean, it comes fully loaded with 32 gig of memory. There is an RTX 4060 version available, so you can do some really solid AAA gaming on it, not Mac gaming for games that don't exist yet, but this is a good alternative for a MacBook. All right, let's go to the next question. Oh, Charles, thank you. You're such an inspiration. That's very sweet. Next one. Hi, Josh. What would be better choice for gaming on the go? The Legion Pro 7i, okay, know that one very well, or the Legion Slim 7i. Is there a big difference? Okay, I know these two very well. Let's just bring them up so people know. I used the Legion 7 Pro like crazy last year, guys. It was on my desk, honestly, the whole time. A Legion 7 Pro. I actually had two residents back then. I was in the other studio that you would have seen on camera. That studio was the one I used this laptop. And then the Slim 7. Let's bring up the Slim 7. Okay. First of all, if you're buying the Slim 7, oh, I see. He wants the... Yeah, okay, I see the problem here. Okay, is this the 7i? Legion, I just want to see this. Legion. Where is this Legion comment? Okay, they're both the Intel variants. Okay, let me bring up the Intel one. Actually, I'm going to bring up the AMD one as well. This one, when we think about my... Oh, Ethan has been so kind to bring one in. 7i. Okay, let me make sure everyone... Oh, let me bring it up. So, sorry, when you see me look at my laptop, I'm just bringing up stuff to show you. Here we go. All right, Legion Slim 7i, 16-inch. So, main thing, if I could grab one of these, is Legion has two kind of 7 ranges. The 7i, which is, this is 7, is this 7i? This is the 7i right here. 7i. This one is a little bit thinner than the 7. It's not actually that much thinner. You'd be quite surprised if you see the two sitting next to each other. Unfortunately, I don't have a 7 Pro right here, right now, but I've owned 2 of them all through last year. They're just a little bit thicker, right? But they look very, very similar. You don't get that much more cooling in it, and fan noise, I promise you, I had 2 identical configurations between the two. Fan noise, that kind of stuff, very similar between them. The main difference, I would say, is that the Pro 7 has access to faster graphics, the 4080 and the 4090, whereas the 7i caps out at about the 4070. Now, here's what I find really kind of interesting. The Slim 7 with AMD, which I'm showing you right now, okay, you can see it on screen. This one caps out at a 4060. You'll see 4060 here. The 7i with Intel, the Slim 7i goes up to a 4070, which is not that much faster. It's 20% more frames, so it's not crazy faster. To really get much faster, you got to jump to the Pro 7, which is the slightly thicker version. And then what you get a huge amount more price, but it's much more expensive, as you can see. But you get Intel's HX processor, which is too powerful for what anyone's really going to use, quite frankly. It's got a bunch more cores, much more performance cores, so it gives you crazy benchmark scores in multi-core performance, but nothing most people does even takes advantage of it, so it's pretty irrelevant. So here's what I think. I'm just going to be flat out. This Legion Slim 7, the AMD version, is amazing. It is so good for what you get for the money. You get the 4060, you get, and I've seen it on sale as low as like $1,150, and we're moving into Black Friday. I'm assuming it'll go on sale. We have a coupon for Lenovo. Maybe, Ethan, you could put the link to this one in there for people. It's on our gaming laptop sheet. So this one here, out of these Legions, it's really the difference to Intel that makes it have a lot of heat and a lot of fan noise. This one doesn't have much heat or fan noise and has better battery life. So if comparing a 7i to a 7, even though you get 20% extra gaming performance, I gotta be honest, I'd cut the gaming performance and get the AMD Legion 7. It's so much better for most things you're gonna do on the laptop. I hate to say it, I know you're losing frames by not getting the 4070. This is a 4060. But I promise you, I have both of them here. I bought the AMD one myself with my own money. The Intel one, this is, see what stickers on the back for which one they are, so we know. The Intel one, use them side by side. The Intel one, noticeably hotter to the touch, right? You really notice the heat on the Intel one. You don't notice, I'm talking about the Slims, you don't notice on the AMD. Now, if you do want higher graphics in the AMD, you have to get the Pro models. And unfortunately, this year I don't love them. Last year they did have AMD Pro models. In America, certainly where I am right now, these are the Pro models here. They don't actually have AMD ones, which really sucks. They're only Intel ones. And you're forced to get stuff that I think to get this kind of graphics, you may not need. So my 2 cents is, it's a great laptop. It is good. It is good. But for this kind of price, there's a lot of options. So like we like the Strix Scar. That one does have coil wine, but if you can find that at a similar price, it's probably, honestly, a pretty good buy as well. Overall, as I look at it, you know, see, this is $2,300 to $3,000 for the 4090, not worth. You know, if you can get a good, like a 4080, where's the 4080 version of this one? Where is it? Where is it? That's the one that's missing. So let's build our own and we'll add a 4080. It's the 2 things I don't like about this. It's the HX processor worries me because it's just such a beefy processor and it's completely unnecessary in this laptop. I'd love to see this with a lower end processor because all that processor is going to do is give you heat and fan noise. It's not going to do anything that's going to help gaming on this laptop, honestly. Yeah, so it's pretty pricey. Look, I'm on the fence about this one. I think if you do want a Lenovo with a high performance graphics, this is the one to get in the US. But I'd have a good look at some of the other big gaming laptops that are out there, like the Strix Scar, which we recently reviewed, we liked. We also like the Alienware X16. It does get warm to the touch, the Alienware. It's a really odd size, that laptop, but it's a good one too. So this one, I'd say it's in my bucket of it's pretty good. I like it, but I don't think it reaches the ridiculous heights of the AMD version of the Slim 7. That is just really good.
Someone did have a question about the different screens on the Slim 7.
Oh yeah, different screens on the Slim 7. I love this topic. Okay, so I get really excited about this, guys. It's ridiculous. Okay, so if you build your own Slim 7, you'll notice there's 2, and that's another issue. I don't think the Slim 7 Pro has the different screens. I'm almost certain it doesn't. This is another big difference. Programmers, listen up about this one, okay? In these Lenovos, they use 2560 by 1600 display screens. The pixel, how PPI, so you can't upgrade the screen on this one. Okay, how dense the pixels are is decent on that one. But if you're a programmer looking at a lot of tiny code all day, every day, you kind of want higher PPI, higher pixels per inch, because that is how sharp, especially little text, is rendered. Now, on the Slims, and this is why I like this, again, I really like this AMD Slim, you can actually upgrade the display to this one here. You'll see it on screen. Apologies to keep pointing to the left. That's where the screen is that I'm looking at it. This one here, it has a higher pixel density screen. You lose a little brightness, but it also solves another issue. The screens that the Legion Pro and the Legion Slim 7 by default come with is this one here, 2560 by 600. So you gain more pixel density, but you also gain more color accuracy, where this one, it's okay. It's good enough color accuracy to look at on screen, no problems. But if you are doing creative work, this one is the one to get. So programmers and creators should get the upgraded screen, and that's also another reason to get the Slim 7 or even 7i over the Pro 7, because you can't upgrade the screen.
We have a code, right, for Lenovo?
We do have a code. We have a code for Lenovo. It gives you 6% off if you buy from the stores. It's just Space Josh 6, I think. But check out our video. Maybe we can put the link to the Legion Slim 7 that we have from the sheet. You can just... Yeah, but if you just put the link down there, we have a code for Lenovo. As I said, I think it's just Space Josh 6, or it's either just Josh 6. You'll find it, I think, if you go to our gaming laptop video, you'll see our sheet of recommended gaming laptops. Maybe we can just copy it here for people. Or I'll do it here right now, so just people can see it. Just 2 seconds, we'll get it up for you guys so you can see it. And here it is, best gaming laptop deals. I've got it. I'm going to put it in the chat. So if you just go to this one, you'll find that we have a code for Lenovo there. Also, if you do want to buy one of these laptops, please use one of our links. That's how the channel makes money. That's how we can make all these videos for you. And as I said, it's really weird that the channel makes money that way. I'm going to bring myself back up here because we often, as you know on this channel, not all of our reviews are positive, right? I'd rather just be honest with you guys, and if a laptop sucks, tell you about it, even if it means no one's going to buy the laptop and we make no money on our affiliate marketing. But it's better, I think, at the end of the day for us to produce a good product, which is a great video for you. Any other questions?
Hey, by the way.
Hey, okay. We might take one more question. So Surya asks for a good 13-inch laptop. I'm going to be naughty with this one and say that a good 13-inch laptop... Oh, there's so many good questions here, Ethan. Wow.
We do it every week.
Okay. There's so many good questions here. Good 13-inch laptop. I'm sorry to say I find a 14-inch laptop far better for more useful. And I think you should buy the Zenbook 14. I've talked about a lot on this channel already. Even though you're asking for a good 13-inch laptop, that one has a lot of the benefits of a 13. It's super portable. It's super small. It's premium. It has a great keyboard. It has extra long battery life. Just buy the Zenbook 14. Its display is fantastic. It's OLED. It's high resolution. I think it's high refresh rate. I'm sure it is as well. Just get that one. Your eyes will thank you that you get a bigger screen with the 14-inch. And also, just in general, folks, I found that this year there was a lot more investment from manufacturers into 14-inch laptops. So we saw a lot more exciting stuff or kind of better combinations in the 14-inch space versus the 13. All right, I just want to... there's so many good... What would you go for deciding between the Legion Slim 7, the Zephyrus M16, or the Strix G16 for frequent gaming, but also good battery life for office work? All have the RTX 4060. For sure, the Legion Slim 7, if they've all got the RTX 4060. Not even remotely close. The Zephyrus M16 is going to feel warm to the touch compared to the Legion Slim 7. The Legion Slim 7 at AMD has great battery life. It feels super premium. The M16, it's also a little bit smaller, isn't it? It's a bit heavier, actually. Where is the...
It's out here.
We're just going to grab an M16. We have all of them here. The Strix G16... Oh, the Strix... Yeah, the Strix, I probably... the G16. It's a similar chassis to the M16. Yeah, I personally... This is me. And they're both... Here at least the G16's chassis is very similar. But here's the M16. So you can see the Legion Slim 7, it's a bit taller than the M16, but probably a little thinner. Both are very, very nice. I personally would get the Legion Slim 7 AMD. That's my 2 cents. As I said, the main thing for me, the main difference is that I find it feels significantly cooler to the touch when using it, and that makes it a lot more comfortable. So that's my 2 cents. And also it has the upgrade. You can upgrade it to that other screen if you want a better color accurate, more pixel dense display. All right. I think, guys, that's probably it for the time being. Just a couple updates on the channel as I close. Thanks.
Yeah.
So here's a couple of updates for you. So what I'm trying to do is get more content out to you, because we're a little bit of perfectionists here. We kind of produce content. Our YouTube videos are very high quality. We spend a lot of time on them, just perfecting like every word we say to make sure we're as accurate as possible. It keeps the energy high, but these videos take a long time to produce. So it means we're not giving you answers as fast as I'd like. So what I'm trying to do up until Christmas is, certainly until Black Friday, but up until Christmas, do a weekly live stream so we can get you answers faster. So that's one thing we're trying to do. Then one of the big pushes is we're going to be really focusing after that on, we'll be still focusing on the tech channel, but we'll produce more regular content on the new business channel. And I said this at the beginning, but I just want to say it once more. You know, throughout my career, I was doing this YouTube part-time for the last couple of years, moved to do it full-time, but I worked my way up right up the corporate ladder in a Wall Street, a big company, in the tech space, originally as a developer, then tech product manager, and right up eventually to the most senior level you can get in terms of titles. And I want to make sure you guys are successful too, because I'm helping you guys out with the laptops, but I'd love to be helping you guys out with your business side as well, like your career. You know, a lot of people here are students who are starting their careers. Others are mid-career or even, you know, higher up in the career, but looking, how can you jump a little bit further? How can you be more successful? So I'm going to be moving the business channel. Instead of doing kind of scripted content like the tech, it will actually take this spot, this live stream every week, and the business channel, instead of being scripted content like the tech channel is, it'll be just regular live streams where I'll pick a topic. It might be how to get your first job, how to negotiate a salary raise. It might be which career path should you take, that kind of stuff. And we'll pick a topic, talk for about 20 minutes on it, then answer your questions on it. And that's what's going to happen. So with that said, as I close, make sure to check out the business channel, get subscribed. There's a couple of videos on it right now, but it will be moving to a regular live stream post around, at least around Christmas, which will be a weekly one. So I hope this helped you out. We'll be doing a live stream on the tech channel, this one, up until Black Friday, and then as the Christmas period breaks to kind of help you make decisions. So thanks everyone for joining me tonight, and I'll catch you guys later.